and struggling to maintain hope that he was still alive. I more or less closed up, Kay told People magazine. I didn't leave the house for a year, and if I had to, someone else had to be there in case Stevie came home. I chose to believe he was alive. Delbert, however, handled things differently. I went berserk for a time, he said in the same People interview. I'd ride around in my pickup with a sawed-off shotgun on the seat in case I saw someone with Stevie. I began to suspect everyone had something to do with it. Friends, neighbors, even family members. If a child dies, you bury the child. With a missing child, you have a knot in your chest that never leaves. For 7 years, Stephen lived as a sex slave, until Valentine's Day of 1980, when Parnell, having decided that Stephen was too old for his perverse sexual taste, abducted 5-year-old Timmy White, grabbing him up so quickly that the boy dropped his paper hearts in a ditch along the road leading to his babysitter's house. Stephen, then 14, was terrified for the little boy, and when Parnell left for work, he grabbed Timmy White and they hitchhiked until they found themselves at the Ukiah police station. A triumphant, but not happy, return. Cary Stayner was a hero, and he received a hero's welcome when he made it back to Merced, where he was depicted in a large photo above the fold of the front page of the Merced Sun-Star, being embraced by Kay and Delbert. It was March 2nd, 1980, and Cary Stayner, who had silently prayed every night for this brother's return, was coming home from a camping trip in Yosemite with some friends when he heard the news of his brother's escape from the clutches of a madman. He later told reporters he was so excited he almost drove his car into the Merced River. That excitement didn't last. After Stephen's triumphant return home, his story made national news. He had become a celebrity of sorts, and his notoriety would only grow after the release of the TV miniseries I Know My First Name is Stephen, inspired by the statement written by Stephen while with the Ukiah police. Linda Schertz, who lived 2 doors down from the Stayners, said when Stephen returned home, the entire family turned its focus to him, to the detriment of everyone else. Everything they did and everything they had, it was about Stephen, she said. Cary, whose father had long hinted that the 11-year-old could have prevented the kidnapping if only he followed his usual routine of walking home from school with his brother and sisters, was again shoved aside while the attention turned toward his brother. An invisible boy. When Stephen made his long-awaited return back to the little green house on the edge of town, it was to the bedroom that he and Cary had shared, but had since been Cary's alone. I think it must have really affected Cary, said Michael Coleman, a neighbor of the Stayners for 20 years. When Stephen came home, Cary was kind of put on the back shelf. He was in the background always. So much in the background was Cary that he was almost invisible, said Eccles, who wrote the book I Know My First Name is Stephen, which was adapted into J.P. Miller's screenplay. In it, Eccles told of a stunning event that occurred on a night he had joined the family for dinner. After Kay walked back to the stove after setting the table, Stephen remarked to her that she had forgotten one place setting. Who? She said, and Stephen pointed over to his brother. Oh yes, she said. Cary. Resentment only grows. We never really got along well after he came back, Cary told Miller, who also spent time with the family researching the 1989 miniseries. Just little things, but they kind of irked me. The way I see it, just about anybody would have done the same thing in his shoes. But his head was all bloated out. All of a sudden, Steve was getting all these gifts, getting all this clothing, getting all this attention. I guess I was jealous. I'm sure I was. I was the oldest and all that. Then all of a sudden, it's gone. I got put on the back burner, you might say. Stephen, too, struggled with issues within the family. The family disapproved of therapy. It was for the weak, Delbert and Kay believed. So neither Stephen nor any